2021 price target of $200,000 per Bitcoin. I've been getting a lot of questions about this. A lot of people don't think that it's possible. This was, of course, the price target that I put out at the end of last year, early this year, that Bitcoin was going to hit $200,000 before the end of 2021. So I'm going to give you another way to think about it and show how this is more realistic than a lot of people believe. So the most recent Bitcoin halving happened on May 11th in 2020. This is when the miner subsidy gets cut in half. There's a supply shock to the system, and it's the Bitcoin halving that normally kicks off the cycle, the bull cycle, the 2-year, call it 12 to 18 month bull cycle following the halving. So here we are today on July 22nd. 2021. It's been 437 days since the May 2020 halving. So let's rewind and look at the previous halving. That happened in July of 2016. The reward was halved. If we take that same number of days, 437 days, that's how many days it's been since the May 2020 halving, and if we apply that number of days to the 2016 halving, we come up with the date of September 19th, 2017. So that's basically the same number of days after the halving as we are now. That was the 2016 cycle. We're in the 2020 cycle right now. So on that date, 437 days after the 2016 halving, Bitcoin was trading at $3,910. Now, by the end of the year, just 89 days later, Bitcoin peaked at 19,891 on Coinbase. On some exchanges, it went above 20,000 US dollars. So that's about a 5x return, 5.08x return in just 89 days. And this is where we are in the cycle. Now, obviously, history doesn't repeat, though it may rhyme, etc. There's no reason Bitcoin is bound by any schedule like this. But this is just to show how people underestimate how high Bitcoin can go, how it can start hitting new all-time highs and then hit them for many months and do a 5x in just under 3 months. Something similar could certainly happen in the fourth quarter of this year and be kicked off in the third quarter. Today, as I'm recording this, Bitcoin's trading at 32,124. So if we were to do 5.08x from here, that would take us to 163,000. Now, this is short of the $200,000 price target, but this is just to give you a ballpark number and to show how people always underestimate Bitcoin to the upside. We know how far down it can go. It can go to zero, which is almost certainly not going to happen. But anyone who's short Bitcoin really is taking on a lot of gap risk or jump risk, you might say, because Bitcoin can only go down 100%, whereas it can go up many hundreds or thousands of a percent in a very, very short period of time. And these moves tend to feed on each other as well. So here we are today. Oh, here's the, this was actually the chart of the 2017 blow off top. And we had really that huge price appreciation. Most of it really occurred in that last, call it 45 days from the beginning of November through mid-December. And that's where price appreciation really happened. We went from 3,000, started hitting new highs, and then hit numbers that no one could even believe. Now, I'm still relying on Plan B's various models. He's got the stock to flow cross asset model, and he's got the original models, which I do talk about in other videos. If you want to read his papers on this, the best place to start is Modeling Bitcoin Value with Scarcity, which he published in March of 2019. This is the model that we're going to be looking at right now to come up with another number. So just using this very simplistic 5x, we get to 163,000. If we want to look at where Plan B's model has us going, at least the original model, we can go to this website, s2f.hamal. I will link to this below. And then if you want to see the charts that I'm about to show you, you just click on this chart, and they'll pop up here. Here is the stock to flow model. As I said, it was released in March of 2019. So everything from about here is out of sample. And we can see here that we're close to 2 standard deviations below the model price. The model price would be this center black line, and then the red line is the actual historical price of Bitcoin. We can see that in the previous blow off top at the end of the 2016 cycle, which ended, the bull market ended at the end of 2017, we actually got 2 standard deviations above the model price. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a very light blue color right here. There's a dark blue color here, and it's the light blue color, the boundary line here, that shows 2 standard deviations. So that's the one thing about this bull market. We haven't had the blow off tops that really exceed the model price by a lot, which we had in 2017 and also a couple times in 2013 and 2014. This suggests to me that given Bitcoin's adoption, given all the very bullish fundamentals, it doesn't suggest to me that something's broken. It suggests to me that we still have a huge run ahead and that Bitcoin is going to do something like this in the next 3 to 6 months. We can look at a more magnified version of this, which I'm getting from, if you click right here, the 2-year detailed chart, it will pop up here. This is where we are with Bitcoin today. The red line, of course, is the actual price of Bitcoin. And then you have the black line, which is the model price. And then 1 standard deviation above and 2 standard deviations below, I believe it is. So if we get to the top, this top standard deviation, which is very similar to what we just said happened here in 2017 and 2013, where we touched the top of that light blue channel, that gives us, if you can see the chart right here, the y-axis at 250,000. That's where this top piece is. And so if history replays itself, we would expect testing of this top boundary sometime before the bull market ends. We've had a very unusual year. We've had a major economy, China, kick all the Bitcoin miners out and ban Bitcoin as well on the exchanges and various financial companies. So it's been a very strange, it started off as a very strong bull market, obviously seen a lot of price weakness lately. But I think most of this is priced in, all the Elon FUD and the China FUD. It's really pretty much all played out. And so I would expect just the fundamentals of Bitcoin to take over, the increasing adoption. We talked about yesterday, the increasing adoption of the Lightning Network. There's still a wall of institutional money coming from Wall Street. Any institution that started this process is not going to reverse it just because Bitcoin's price has gone down. Institutions are very slow moving, and they'll be happy to buy twice as much Bitcoin as they would be able to buy when the price was 64,000. So I think we still got that wall of money coming. And then we have, if this cycle plays out like the other ones, we really should test the top boundary here, which takes us well above my price target of 200,000. I always thought that was a fairly conservative target. I still think we hit 200,000 before the end of this year. I won't be too sad if we hit it in January or something like that. But I think the fourth quarter will be very bullish, as it has been in previous halving cycles, and that it's quite likely that we get to 200,000. I think it's extremely likely we get to 200,000. We probably even go above that and overshoot and hit 250,000, or even 288,000, which is the price that's Plan B's other Bitcoin model. This suggests a price of 288,000 in the next couple of years. It's a little bit unclear how this would be timed, but if you read this article, you can see, I believe it's highlighted down here. Here we go. Bitcoin price of 288,000 sometime between 2020 and 2024. So this is a slightly different model to be distinguished from this one, which was the original stock to flow model.